De-dollarization is ramping up, and there's no better drive for it than Western sanctions, of course. The more Western states use economic coercion, the more motivation the global majority has to protect their economic sovereignty. That's just simple truth. In a landmark statement this week, which, by the way, I have already shared with my subscribers over on my Telegram, so make sure that you follow me there to stay updated, Russia's Finance Minister Anton Siluanov just announced that trade between Russia and China now takes place almost entirely outside Western currencies. According to Siluanov, 99.1% of settlements between the two nations are conducted in rubles and in yuan. And this shift, he said, allows Moscow and Beijing to bypass what he called unfriendly foreign infrastructure, which is, of course, a clear reference to the dollar and euro-based banking systems that once dominated their trade. Just a few years ago, you may recall this, nearly all payments between the two countries, between Russia and China, pass through Western banks using dollars and euros. But sanctions, political tensions, and financial restrictions have changed that landscape entirely. Today, funds no longer pass through Western-controlled institutions that could freeze or hold transactions at any given moment. Instead, the ruble and yuan now form the foundation of a bilateral financial partnership that's quietly redrawing the map of global trade. This milestone comes as Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and Chinese Premier Li Qiang met in Hangzhou, China, to discuss deepening cooperation in energy and in industry. For both sides, the message is very, very clear, and that message is financial independence from the West isn't just a defensive measure anymore. It is now a strategic pillar of economic resilience. And it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Russia's move toward de-dollarization accelerated after February of 2022, when the Ukraine conflict triggered sweeping Western sanctions. In response, Moscow redirected its trade routes toward Asia. I've already discussed that Moscow orients now toward the East, not the West. And this is when China emerged as its largest trading partner and the primary buyer of Russian oil. Beijing began paying in yuan, and that enabled the two nations to find a path to bypass the dollar system altogether. Now, of course, this dynamic creates a significant dependence on China, so it might be to Russia's detriment in the long term. It does need to diversify, but that is a story for another video.